Have you felt like you don't know what day it is? All the days are starting to run together. If you have felt like that, you are probably burnt out, and that is me. I have gone days and days and days of just grinding, never allowing myself time to rest. So today, I want to talk about 5 things that I've implemented to at least get the ball rolling on being forgiving to myself and allowing myself to rest. But before we start, my name is Deanna Darcell. I am reinventing myself. I'm loving on myself. I'm sharing experiences of my life with you to help motivate you to be your best self. And if you're interested, keep watching. Before we start, let's talk about what burnout actually is. So that means you are physically, mentally, emotionally exhausted due to stress. And signs of burnout is you're extra sleepy. You're tired, but you keep going. You have no motivation. You are eating unhealthy. You tend to overthink things. You have the inability to keep going, but you're just there. And last, you're extremely irritated. So you can easily mistaken you being lazy with burnout. And let's be clear, burnout is when you are exhausted due to you having, let's say, a lot of stuff on your plate. And laziness is when you can't or you don't want to actually do it. And both of those, you'll have a feeling of not wanting to do something, but that is because you could easily be burnt out. Before I share the 5 things that I did to help me move in a better direction with getting out of burnout, I want to share a story with you of me and burnout and staring at it clearly in the face. So about 3 years ago, I had an extremely stressful job. I was in an extremely stressful position. Of course, I was working in management, and I was not only the GM, but I also was doing all the things that like a bookkeeper would do, an accountant would do. You know, I'm managing a staff of 50 plus. There were different owners and operators of the actual place that I worked at. And it was extremely demanding, day in, day out, a lot of hours, a lot of, you have to have a lot of availability. So I was just going day in and day out. And I remember I was working because we had a day shift and a night shift, and I was working both of those shifts. And I was so exhausted to the point to where I just couldn't move anymore. Like I could not go any further. And my job, again, was extremely stressful. And I sent an email to my boss, letting him know I can't do this anymore. Like I cannot manage the club, manage you, manage everything that's going on. And I had a complete breakdown, which then for me, I really didn't take that breakdown seriously because I didn't stop. I kept going. I kept going and going, trying to manage my personal life, trying to lose weight, trying to eat healthy, have friends, have a life, manage all the staff, all these different personalities. And I got extremely irritable. Like I was so snappy to where I said, you know what, I think I need to see somebody because I was so bitter. Now, let me be clear. The situation that I was in, there are a lot of contributing factors that fed to that. I do work in a toxic work environment. Let me be clear. It is extremely toxic and it is not good for my mental health. But I started going back into therapy, and it got so bad, I got on antidepressants It got so bad, but as I sit back and I reflect on that, I never took a break. I never took a break, and I would feel so guilty if I took an off day because I wanted to bear all that on my plate. I wanted to be the savior. I wanted to be the person that handles everything, and I allowed that door to be open, and that caused extreme burnout. So now that I've discussed my story, feel free to drop your comment, your story below. I know I'm not alone when it comes to burnout, but I want to talk about the 5 things that I have reiterated and that I have launched in my life to get a hold of me, to be able to get my life back going. Let's talk about what I implemented in order to feel better about myself and my life. So, number 1 is I set boundaries. So, prime example, I went to Bali and I still made myself available all the way across the globe. I made myself available. And I realized I'm tripping. Like, Deanna, it's a once in a lifetime ordeal, and you are choosing to communicate with the staff. You should have created the boundaries. Like, listen, I'm not gonna be available. Everyone will be okay. If it's an emergency, reach out to me, but you don't need to just reach out to me for random things. And I realized I didn't have any boundaries. So number 1 is setting boundaries. Number 2, prioritize rest and recovery. So if your off days are Saturday and Sunday, let's keep it, let's prioritize resting on those days. Let's keep it a buck and let's say, you know what? I'm gonna be a couch potato. I'm gonna rot all day. And it's okay for me to rot for a day, or, whatever everybody's timeline is. For me, you know what? Saturday and Sunday are probably the days that I'm able to relax the most and to just do things on my own terms and time. But I have started to launch that in on starting on Thursday. Thursday, I start to scale back. Friday, I've made Friday a half a day. I have made Friday a half a day, and they don't know it, but I know it. My weekend starts Friday, and it's always going to be a half a day. Number 3, time block and delegate. So as much as you want to be the person that does everything, you can't be that person. And that's going to take you realizing that you're not going to be able to do everything, Deanna. It's okay to let somebody else in. I realized that this year. I brought somebody in, and the crazy part is my job doesn't even know that. I brought somebody in to help me because there were tasks that I don't need to be doing or that I need help with. And I realized me trying to do all of it is what's stressing me out. It's literally what's stressing me out. So time block and delegate. Number 3 is connect with yourself and others. So I'm a big advocate of spending time with my friends. So I'm going to be purposeful and I'm going to say, hey y'all, let's try to connect, or hey y'all, let's meet. Or I'm going to say, Mom, let's go have dinner, or let's go have lunch. Be very intentional with that, because those are the moments and those are the people that mean the most to me. And I feel good about that. I feel good about hanging with my girlfriends. I feel good about hanging with my friends. So it's key to make sure you're purposeful and set that time aside. And last but not least, connect with your purpose. Why am I here, Deanna? What is something that I like to do? What is something that I flourish in? What is something that brings me joy? For me, I have found that getting back in the kitchen, I used to love to cook. Getting back in the kitchen is 1. Number 2, I used to read. I still read a lot, but I have been like this thing where I only read self-help books, but I've gotten back into reading thrillers. Like thrillers were like my guilty pleasure, and I love that. Reconnecting with my purpose, meaning I am doing things for myself. I'm making sure I'm getting a massage. And self-care is hair and nails. I'm very purposeful with that. Whether or not I'm going to the salon or doing them myself, regardless, that is something that I like to do. And ultimately, connecting with your purpose means that you are quiet and you are allowing yourself to just sit and be who you are. And that is key. Sit and be who you are and sit in it. It's okay to be still. And that is the main thing for me to not get burnout. I have to prioritize doing that. So before we close, I want to leave you guys with this quote. You can't pour from an empty cup. Fill yours first without guilt. That basically means prioritize yourself first. Put yourself first before you try to help other people. Deal with yourself first. Put your mental health first. Everything that has to deal with you, put yourself first. Again, you can't pour from an empty cup. Fill yours first without guilt. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed every bit of this. This is a quick 5 tips on how to avoid feeling burnt out. My name is Deanna Darcell. Please be sure to like and follow. Have a good day.